Morning, everybody. Yankees lost 17-5 yesterday. I'm sure these voicemails, which I haven't listened to yet, are going to be just as reasonable as the comments.
And these civilized people, they'll eat each other.
The bullpen is struggling with a lot of injuries. Do you think we are capable, the offense is capable of carrying like the load for a little bit of a stretch, like the next 5 games? You know, I don't know if we are. It's still showing signs of life, the offense, but I just don't know. I don't trust that we are. Thanks.
So the question is, now that we're a little bit thin on pitching, is the offense good enough to carry the Yankees through this next series with the Braves and possibly beyond? I mean, obviously they are good enough. Aaron Judge looked good yesterday. Volpe is beginning to heat up. Stanton has been hitting the ball harder lately. But what we need more than that is we need the starting pitching to give us length for about a week. We got to get Carlos Rodon to give us 7 innings. We got to get Stroman to go deep into the game. We got to take some pressure off of that bullpen because they are worn out right now. And yes, it would help if the offense would put up some big crooked numbers early in the game. If the Yankees could get back to that formula they had when they were winning all those games, is get a nice big early lead, get strong starting pitching, tack on a couple of runs in the middle of the game, and then let the bullpen shut it down. Right now, the bullpen is not pitching well. The starting pitching looks a little bit worn out. It's a good thing that we got the All-Star break coming up pretty soon because I think everybody just needs a break. And that's not just the Yankees. That's around Major League Baseball. But it's going to be a team effort to kind of overcome this valley that they're in right now. I still think this is a good team, but they've had some obvious flaws exposed.
So what's going on with Gil, man? I don't know if it's looking like the Yankees might need to pump the brakes a little with him. He might be getting a little tired already. It was actually a few starts ago that Pedro Martinez was doing an analysis, and he was noticing it too. He was like, "That kid, I noticed after the 4th inning, he was pushing the ball, and us pitchers, when we push the ball like that, it's because we tired. So I could tell that this kid is getting gas. Like the Yankees, they might need to keep an eye on that, you know."
First of all, killer impression of Pedro Martinez. It would not surprise me if he was getting a little bit tired, and Pedro would know better than I would if a pitcher is pushing the baseball. To me, it just looks like he's pitching. You know, I mean, I still see 99 miles an hour. I still see a 95-mile-an-hour changeup. But I do know that many pitchers have said that when you start to get a little bit tired, the first thing that goes is location. And yesterday, the location was really bad. It was right down the middle. And there's no telling if he was tipping his pitches or not, because like I said during the postgame, the Orioles were hitting everything they swung at really hard. You know, it's not like they were, hitting hangers or whatever. They were hitting stuff that was electric. It was just in a bad location, and they were able to capitalize. If you know it's coming and it's right down the middle, you're going to crush it if you're a major league hitter. I think there might be a little bit of both. I think he might be a little bit tired, and I think there might have been some tipping going on, and obviously the location was terrible. But look, he's a rookie. He's still 9-2 with a 2.77 ERA. Every single one of us Yankees fans would have signed up for that start from Luis Gil when we found out he was taking over that spot in the rotation. He's still an all-star. It's just a blip on the radar, hopefully, but would not shock me if he's a little bit tired. Appreciate the call.
Hey, Derek. This is Myers again. Tough loss to the O's, but we just got to remember we got to put the loss behind us. I still believe that this team can win the division. Remember, last year around this time, the Yankees were getting blown out frequently, and we had to have all those position players, mainly IKF, to come in and pitch, and it got really annoying. But this year, this is like the only game that I can remember where the Yankees got blown out. So this game in this series is a good reminder for the Yankees that they are going to be challenged with facing a great young team in their division. That's going to be a problem for them for years.
For sure. The Orioles are going to be a problem. I tell you what, though, the Orioles fans are really annoying. They're getting their first taste of winning in a little while, and they don't know how to handle it. It's like when you give your friend his first beer, and he's like, "Oh, bro, I'm so tipsy, bro." A lot of them talking trash in the comments like I've never heard. because they're winning for the first time in their lives. But it reminds me a little bit of the Blue Jays back in 2016 when they were winning for the first time in a long time and everybody got cocky and they didn't win shit. It's a whole different animal to win in the playoffs, and the Orioles haven't proven they can do that. Neither have the Yankees, for that matter. But it's going to be fun watching these two teams go back and forth, and the Yankees are going to get some improvements, right? I mean, they had some holes exposed. The bullpen, obviously. We still need a third baseman, I think. Although DJ did hit the ball a little bit better the last couple of days, I still think the Yankees need a third baseman. Ryan McMahon seems to be the guy. He made a great play yesterday or the day before. And they're going to be aggressive because they're going for it. You don't know if you're going to be able to bring back Juan Soto next season. So if you're Cashman and you're the Yankees front office, you're going for it. I'm excited to see what the Yankees are going to do as we approach the trade deadline, which is now just a little bit over a month away.
Yes, Derek. Hey, this is Sparky from Greenville, Pennsylvania. I've been a Yankee fan since 1956. And I am so sick of, after tonight's blowout game, that Boone just stands up there and says, it's just a bump in the road.
I don't understand what people want him to say after a loss like that. We suck. Our bullpen sucks. Gleyber Torres sucks. You know, the stadium sucks. The food sucks. I don't understand what people expect him to say. He's the manager. He's supposed to diffuse problems when they happen. It makes sense for him to say, this is just a bump in the road. That's exactly what I would have said if I was the manager, even though I might have been thinking, man, our bullpen is trash. That's the manager's job, to be kind of a PR face for the team.
What's going on, Derek? I just wanted to say I think all these games, especially one like yesterday here, are honestly good things in the long run for the Yankees here. It shows, like, just in general, that this team does still have deficiencies, and seems like, to me anyway, that every time they come up against a team that's, one of these contenders, a serious contender, the Orioles, Dodgers, they just, I don't know, they just don't have something that clicks quite the same. The bullpen doesn't look great. Our catching doesn't look amazing. Trevino just, I don't know what we're going to do with him, honestly. If he can't throw anybody out, that's a problem.
Yes, the loss is painful and it's embarrassing, but it is kind of a blessing in disguise if the Yankees treat it that way. If they take a really good, hard, introspective look at the team and say, where are our deficiencies? How do we match up against the Dodgers? How do we match up against the Orioles? What has been the issue? You can't just rely on Judge and Soto. When those two guys are in the lineup and clicking, I contend they're as dangerous and as deadly as any team in Major League Baseball. But when one of those guys is out or one of those guys isn't swinging the bat well, you can pitch to the rest of the lineup. Gleyber Torres continues to stink on ice at second base. We're getting no production out of third base. It remains to be seen if Ben Rice is going to hit at first base. I think he will. I think we might have solved that problem. He has at least competitive at-bats. He's got a good swing. In terms of the bullpen, I think we just need an overhaul. I think we need like 2 or 3 new arms. Problem is, a lot of these guys are getting wear and tear on other teams. You know, even Mason Miller has shown some chinks in the armor recently. I think having Efros come back, having Trevino come back, both fresh, will help. But, the Yankees are in a tough position right now. A lot of the guys that they're going to be competing for in the trade market are guys that the Orioles are also going to be competing for in the trade market, and the Orioles have more prospects to spend.
Hello, Derek. This is Hugh from Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. Let's be totally honest. We have the worst second baseman in baseball. No power at third base. First base is washed up. I don't know what the hell happened to Trevino behind the plate. He can't bounce the ball to second. Our bullpen stinks. And we can't hit from 6 to 9 in the order, similar to last year. Other than that, we're championship quality.
Other than that, Mrs. Kennedy, how was the parade?
To talk about the Yankees' decision on the rotation schedule as Cole comes back. I feel like they've kind of set Luis Gil up for failure. Putting Cole right in front of Luis Gil is a bit of a head scratcher to me. On days that they face teams 2 games in a row, 97 doesn't look as fast whenever you see it 2 days in a row.
That's an interesting perspective. I hadn't really thought about that. A lot of guys throw hard in this league, but yeah, that might be a good idea to put maybe Nestor Cortez in between Garrett Cole and Luis Gil in the second half. That's an interesting thought. But then you also have to have Luis Gil pitching back-to-back with Carlos Rodon unless you split them up with Stroman. So unless you're going to reconfigure the whole rotation, you're going to have guys with velocity, back-to-back at some point. But that's an interesting thought. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will be back tonight after the Yankees take on the Braves. Tune in. We are closing in on 40,000 subscribers. We are about 115 away. So go ahead and subscribe. I'm hoping we can give away a couple of Yankee tickets this weekend when we get there. But whenever we do get there, we're going to give away some tickets. So get on board. I'll see you next time.